Happy Thursday, beautiful souls. This is Shamama Hunting Owl with your weekly twin flame reading for the divine feminine and masculine twins. I want to first start off with thanking everybody for liking, sharing, subscribing, both here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter. We've got all that media going on right now. I'm trying to figure it all out, and it's super cool connecting with all of you guys through all the different media avenues. I also want to thank all of you who have ordered the car decals. I am a twin flame hashtag for the car window decals and for the Shamama Hunting Owl Divine Feminine calendars. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. If you guys are interested, go to divinefeminine.com and you guys can find the decals and the calendars there. What else do I want to say? I love you guys. Thank you for your continued stories, support, comments, questions. You're all fantastic, and I want to really give all of you, the feminine and the masculine, like some serious pats on the back for how much you have done and how much work and effort you are putting into your journeys and your healing and your process. And I know it's not easy. It has been, everybody says this is a roller coaster, and it truly is a roller coaster journey. I want to address a couple of things that have come up this, the past week. I know I haven't made a video, and I was supposed to make one, I don't know, days and days ago, but I just wasn't feeling it. The energies have been kind of gloomy and low, guys, around the divine feminine lately. There's two levels that I feel like are going on right now. There's a bunch of twins who are getting their contact that they haven't gotten in a long time. And then there's a bunch of feminine twins that are like feeling abandoned and lost by their twins all of a sudden out of the blue. And it's kind of conflicting and weird for everybody. And so I've been getting lots of messages from people and lots of comments on the Iamatwinflame page on Facebook. People just feeling real low, real dark, just kind of flat. And so I think that this reading that I pulled today is really going to tie it together and explain what's going on for the masculine, for the feminine, and what we kind of need to kind of focus on for the next couple weeks, next week, whatever. I know the full moon is coming in next week. I believe Mercury is going back into retrograde very soon in the next few days. So always wonky energies going on, trying to trip us up, trying to get us, to stumble over our own 2 feet. As we know, we always need to keep faith. Faith in ourselves first, faith in God, faith in our twin, and faith in what this journey is all about. So with that, I'm just going to start with the reading. I have kind of a lot of cards, but they're going to be a really short message involved because they all tie in so beautifully. Okay, so today I am using the Wizard's Tarot, and I am using one card from the Gaia deck. So with that, we're going to start with the Divine Masculines, and these guys are starting off with the Seven of Pentacles. These guys are looking at their tree with their pentacles. They're one lonely little tree with their pentacles growing on it. And they are looking so tired and in despair over it. Pentacles stand for 3D material things in this world. I feel like the message I'm getting from this card is that this is the Divine Masculine looking at their finances. Really trying to figure out if what they have, what they're growing is enough. Because they're feeling like they don't have enough to support themselves and their divine feminine in the way they want to. They're confused by it. They're scared. They're like, please grow some more, get a little bigger. I know I need you. So this is what they're dealing with. They're dealing with their finances. They're dealing with, again, as I've been saying for a few weeks now, they're dealing with their 3D stuff, but really finances are what's taking their primary concern recently with the energies of this past week or two. They really need to know. They're not feeling secure in themselves, thinking that they have enough to support. their union, themselves, their relationships, and everything that they need to do. So they're really taking a hard look and assessing all of that right now. The next card that came up is really kind of interesting. It is the Queen of Swords. Now, a lot of readers read this as the divorce card, and I do agree with that. In this deck, I see this as the karmic partner, or a person in the divine masculine's life who is watching very, very carefully what the divine masculine is doing. I mean, these cards came up just like this, and she is just staring at the divine masculine and being very critical and analytical about what they're doing, why they're checking their finances, why they're looking into all of these things. She holds this sword almost like a child, as if you would, hold a baby. Those are her thoughts. They're very cunning, very sharp, almost manipulative in nature, I feel like. And she's just watching every move the divine masculine makes right now. I feel like that's what's going on in their world. There's a person, doesn't have to be a karmic, but there's someone who's being incredibly critical of the divine masculine and what he's trying to do, and stepping into himself and feeling secure and getting his finances and things in order. So I feel like this is the pressure that's going on for the masculine right now. They're feeling this. This is not the divine feminine energy. This is definitely someone in their world, a karmic or someone close in their lives, in their relationships. So the next card we have, and we had this a few weeks ago, this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is the masculine taking the biggest pentacle off the bush that they can get. Okay, that's it. The biggest one they have, and setting out on their journey. This is a slow-moving energy. This is him moving, trudging through the snow, battling the mountains, and taking what they have and hoping that this offering of what they've been able to collect from this tree has been enough, will be enough. And they're setting out on their journey. This is their chance to make the break for it, is what I'm hearing. This is them. It may not be fast, but they're moving ahead. They've gotten past figuring out if they have enough finances. They've gotten past this very critical, judgmental person in their life. And they're ready. They're taking what they have and they're moving on. The next card that we have for them is the Justice card. And I feel like this is truly the scales coming to balance, justice being done. There's this owl sitting behind as the divine God, source, spirit, watching over, making sure the scales get balanced, making sure that justice is served. I feel like this also has to do with any other legal things that may be going on for the divine masculines right now. That God is taking care of it. It's in God's hands. He is watching over to make sure that things will turn out in a quick and positive manner for them. They have to believe. We have to believe, and we have to trust in this. So the next card for the divine masculine is the Knight of Cups. This is all about love, emotion, wanting to express themselves in this loving, passionate way. It's that simple. He's offering this cup full. He's got this beautiful pendant around his neck that has 3 circles. I feel like it's finally the masculine incorporating his mind, body, and soul all in one, and just pouring all of those emotions into this cup to bring forth. The last card for the divine masculine that I have is the Page of Cups. And this is about ships coming in. This is about messages being received. Communications of love and passion. I also see the seagull coming in to the cup as if it's blessing the emotions, the love, the feelings in this cup right now. They're getting ready to come forward. they're getting ready to come forward in a big way. There is definitely a lot of work that the masculines are doing right now. And the feminine needs to recognize that and accept it and understand that they do have the emotions, they do have the feelings, that when they go into hiding, they're not running. It's not that they're running away from it or the feminine. It's that they're dealing with their own shit. They're trying to figure it all out. And if we don't give them that time, that honoring of that space that they need, it's kind of sort of like a codependent behavior, you guys. We need to allow them space. We need to allow them breathing room. We need to allow them and understand that they're doing their work. They're doing their part in all of this. But this shit takes time. This isn't shit that can just happen overnight. And I realize, I can hear the feminines going, yeah, but this has been a long journey, and we've been doing this shit for years, and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Good things are worth waiting for, and our masculines are definitely worth waiting for. Our mission is definitely worth, waiting for to establish with the masculine. I kind of want to say to the masculine that any of them that are watching these videos, that I want to reassure them that they do have enough. Because what's interesting and what I don't think that the masculine understand in all of this is the divine mission between the masculine and the feminine that we are meant to do once we are in union is going to take care of what you think what you don't think you don't have, or what you think that isn't enough, or what you think you may lose. Because everything that you may give up in order to move ahead and express this love and move toward union is going to come back in tenfold. Our mission in union is so big that Spirit, God, whatever you want to call him, is going to make sure that we are prosperous and abundant beyond our wildest freaking dreams. So I hope that the masculine who are watching understand this, that there is really nothing they are truly sacrificing in being and moving toward this union with the feminine. Because everything they've ever wanted, emotionally, spiritually, financially, just in their entire lives, is going to be provided by taking these steps. Okay, so enough of that, but now for the feminine. The feminine, poor feminine, we got the 8 of Cups. Is this the 8 or is this the 9? I don't have my glasses on. I can't see. I'm sorry, guys. I still can't see. Yeah, it's the 8. The 8 of Cups. And those cups are beautifully stacked and leaning against each other. This is how the divine feminine is feeling about the masculine right now. They're feeling like he piled up all these cups. He went so far as to start to open his world up to the divine feminine, and now he's just walking away from it all, turning his back on the emotions and ignoring it. This is the divine feminine and where they are right now. I mean, it's just that simple. This is how a lot of them are feeling. And the divine feminine is now feeling out in the cold. Okay? So they're kind of almost, some of them are turning their back on the light behind them in the church, not seeing it. And this in most cards is a masculine and a feminine energy. I see this as too feminine. I see this as the divine feminine completely. And we're all kind of walking around kind of lost and cold and hopeless, saying, what the hell happened? Everything was there. And then they just walked away. What the fuck? But the light is on, divine feminine, and you just got to turn around and see it. It's kind of nice sometimes to have someone to commiserate with, but now it's time for us to suck it up and turn around and see the light. And that kind of leads us to the next card. Oh, and if I didn't say that, that's the Five of Pentacles. The next card, which is really super interesting with all of this, is the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands in the Wizard Tarot deck is super cool because it's five females. And they're offering up their fiery wands together to ignite this amazing fire. This is the divine feminine pulling together and helping each other out of this kind of dismal, like, oh fuck, what happened kind of energy. We are banding together. We are working together to kind of pull each other up out of this. I also feel like this is us coming together in fulfilling our divine mission at this point in time, working on our projects together. I know that's something that I myself personally have been setting a lot of my energy the last week and a half on doing, is not just being Shamama, but pulling together the other projects that I know that are part of my divine mission to work on, and working with other women and collaborating with these other people, not just women, divine feminine energies, but working with them together to establish this fire, to put a fire under our projects, to get our asses in gear and get moving on what we need to do in a big way. Because as a lot of us know, as we've come through this journey, our roles kind of keep changing and shifting as we heal, as we move through things. And so I feel like this is the next shift in coming together to take on the next step of our projects and our missions together. Okay, so the next card is the Chariot for the Divine Feminine. And this is all about the energies moving forward and ahead. The funny thing is she's not actually on a chariot. She's like on a broomstick. She's a witch. And there's the moon in the background. And I feel like it's us getting on our broomsticks and ready to fly, you guys. We are ready to make these moves. We are ready because this fire has been set to start moving ahead, to come out of this place of despair. And as we come together, the divine feminine, in setting this fire, in bringing our energies together to support each other, that's what's going to help this chariot to again move forward. I feel like we've been a little stuck because of this, and because we were feeling like our masculine had walked away. They haven't walked away. They're right there. They're busy. They're working. Let them be. Let them do their work. But in the meantime, we have to do our work. And pulling together is what's going to make this energy start moving again. And it'll get us, and it'll allow the divine feminine to come back into balance emotionally a little bit right now. Because a lot of the thoughts are going crazy, and when the thoughts start to go crazy, the emotions start to go crazy, and we start to kind of fall apart and become a little bit unbalanced. That leads us to the next card, which is the High Priestess. And in the Wizard Tarot deck, the High Priestess is all about working on her mission. She now is not concerned and worried about the masculine anymore. She has a project ahead of her that she needs to take care of. There are things to keep her mind busy while the masculine does what he needs to do. This is where the divine feminine needs to be right now. Once again, not focusing on the masculine, but focusing on her own mission. Doing her things in her 3D world, doing her things in her spiritual world that the divine feminine needs to do. And working. The last card I have for the feminine is that Eight of Pentacles. And working super freaking hard to make this happen. Okay? It's all about putting in the hard work. Okay? We have our divine feminine collective behind us who want to help us, who are working together to come to these great collaborations. Okay? We have the energy moving forward, feminine. We have us sitting down, writing out our plans for our mission. And we have to work super, super hard to get there. So this is putting in the hard work and focusing on that work directly, not the masculine right now. And I know that sucks, and I know you guys hate to hear that. But it's just the way it is. I mean, that's what's happening. We need to stay focused. Now the last card I have is from the Gaia Oracle, and it is the Ganesh card. And I'm going to read from the book for the Ganesh card. And it is, put the glasses back on, Christine. Oh, sorry, guys. It is a 31, which is a 4, which to me, 4s are all about stability. Okay, a 4 to me is those 4 solid legs on a chair. It's building that super, super solid, firm foundation. And the Ganesh card talks about clearing away obstacles. So what we have is, it says, if Ganesha showed up in your reading today, it is an omen of good fortune. Whatever has thwarted your progress or prevented you from moving forward will soon be resolved. An obstacle is cleared and you are free to move on. Your plans are now able to come to fruition. Know that everything happens for a reason. The blockages you have faced were in fact a blessing in disguise, an act of divine intervention. Timing and circumstance were previously not favorable, and your efforts would have ended only in disappointment and failure. The path is now clear, and the timing is right. Your stars are in alignment. And the affirmation that goes along with that says, I am protected and guided by a higher power. When the path is blocked, I take this as a sign to wait. I give thanks for divine intervention. When the path is clear, I move forward with ease. All that occurs or does not occur is for my highest, greatest good. And I feel like that's what's going on, you guys. Truly, that sums up everything, because the obstacles are being cleared, okay? The Divine Masculine, as we see in this Knight of Pentacles card, is taking his pentacles and moving forward. Justice is going to happen. We have to ignite our fires together and work toward our mission as ourselves for the feminine energy. And these are the obstacles being cleared. We are moving forward. The road is clearing, even if you can't see it. I need to remind everybody, the 3D is an illusion. What you see before you is not actually the way it is. We have to stay focused in the 5D when it comes to thinking about our twins and understanding that God has this in his hands. The other night, the last thing I want to say is the other night I was sitting outside. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and I was just looking up at all the stars in the sky. And I sat there and I just was in awe of, I felt like they represented all the angels that are working above to manipulate and move all the little pieces, all the intricacies of this journey into order. Really putting the puzzle pieces together. Like I could see all this twinkling, and it was like them sending this message of how beautiful and how hard they're working to bring us together. So I want you to remember that. So I want everybody tonight, go outside, look up at the sky. If you can see the stars, thank the angels. If you can't see the stars, thank the angels. Thank the heavens truly for the beauty of this journey, for the pains, the ups, the downs, because it is truly beautiful in every way, shape, or form, you guys. So with that, yeah, I mean, that's the end of my soapbox. I want to remind you all to continue reaching out, support each other, support yourselves, support your masculine. Thank God every day. Thank you all for scheduling sessions, readings, healing sessions, purchasing the calendar, purchasing the Iamatwinflame hashtag card decals. You guys are awesome. And that's it. So have a great week. Sending so much love and light, gratitude and blessings always, you guys. I love you. Mwah. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.